All right, so you have finished your foresight circuit. Now it's time to make the wearable. So first, let's gather our materials. We're gonna need one sheet of cardboard, something to write with, your ruler, pair of scissors, your hot glue gun, the hole puncher. You're gonna need one brass fastener, your measuring tape, and your sensor badge with your foresight circuit on it. And then when it comes time to decorating, you might want some glue, some colored paper, whatever color you want. And I really like to use this Mylar. We'll talk about this later. All right. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is make 3 strips. So I'm taking my piece of cardboard and my pen. I'm cutting it the long way, so I'm gonna draw a line like this all the way across, and then just cut along that line. And again, it doesn't need to be perfect, but try to get as close as you can, And if it's not right along the line, that's okay. Okay, there's one. Now I can make a second one, and this time I can actually just use the strip that I just cut instead of using a ruler. If you want to use the ruler, you can, but I'm just gonna hold this down, and this way I don't have to move the ruler or anything like that. There we go. I now have 1, 2, 3 strips. So the next part, we actually are going to measure around our wrist and our forearm. So I'm going to put the measuring tape on my wrist. I'm using the inches. Okay, so make sure to use the inches. And I'm gonna put the measuring tape so that 2 inches is right at the top of my wrist. And then I'm gonna kind of, you can get a little, sometimes it helps to spread it out like this and wrap 2 inches, because again, you want kind of 2 inches of overlap. So for me, 2 inches gets to just about, sometimes it's a little hard, but here you go, right there. So 2 inches for me is right in between 9 and 10. So I'll say 9.5 inches. If you have your journal, you can write this down in your journal. I'm just taking some scrap cardboard and writing wrist equals 9 1/2 inches. And now I do the same thing for up near my elbow. So I'm gonna put it so that the centimeters are up. Wrap it around. Turn that over. And just see where 2 inches is, and that's just about 13. So for me, my elbow is 13 inches. So now I'm going to take one of my strips and I'm going to cut at 9 1/2 inches. So I can use my ruler. 9 1/2. I can make a little mark right at 9 1/2. And then so there's one. That's for my wrist. And then for my elbow, I know that I need 13 1/2 inches. So I'm actually going to use my measuring tape. You can use your ruler, but the measuring tape goes beyond 12 inches, so I don't need to like shift it. So for me, it was 13 inches. And cut it right there. So now I have a strip that I'll use for my wrist and a strip that I'll use for my elbow. So the next part, we're gonna basically make 2 bracelets, one around your wrist and one up close to your elbow. So I'm gonna take, this one is for my elbow, and I'm gonna fit it around my elbow like this. It shouldn't be too tight, but it also shouldn't be super loose. Right, it should kind of be whatever's comfortable. And once you kind of have where it's comfortable, you can slide it off. You're gonna bring your hot glue gun and you're gonna glue this down. Okay. And again, you kind of hold it, wait for 30 seconds or so. There you go. So now this should fit up close to my elbow. And for the wrist, we're gonna do something similar, except we're actually not gonna hot glue it. We're going to use our hole puncher. So on one side, just like you did with your belt, punch one hole there. And on the other side, I'm gonna punch 2, maybe 3 holes. And now we take one of these, the brass fastener, and stick it in the hole there where you had one hole, and we're just going to glue it down. And by gluing it down, all we're doing is kind of making it so it can't move, which will make it much easier as we try to figure out which hole we're going to use over there. So, not try yet. If you need a little bit more glue, you can. You shouldn't need a ton. There you go. It's drying. And then you're just going to, once it's all dry, you're going to wrap it around your wrist. And you're going to see which one of those holes fits better. For me, it looks like that second hole will fit better. And then once it's through, you just pull the legs away from each other, like that. And now you have something for your wrist. And something for your elbow. Okay? So once you're here and you have a bracelet for your elbow and a bracelet for your wrist, we're going to connect these two with the third strap. So we need to first see how long it should be. And for me, I'm looking, and it looks to be just about 9 inches. So I'm going to take my third strap, or my third strip, I mean. Mark off where 9 inches is. Cut it. Take off one of my, I took off the one by my elbow. And I like to glue it opposite the side where you glued the ring together. So just put a little bit of glue right there. Put that down. Now to glue the wrist one. Off. And again, I kind of like to do it on the opposite side. So I'm going to kind of glue it right there. So put a little bit of glue like this. Pinch it. Now, once it dries, should have yourself the beginning of a foresight. So sometimes this can be a little bit hard to actually get through, but there you go. Put it on the first one this time, and look at that. We're almost ready to attach our circuit, but next we need to decorate. So when decorating your foresight, you can use kind of whatever you want. Some stuff that's from the kit that might be helpful. You might want some glue. You could use some colored paper. You could use this Mylar right here. It's really cool. It's shiny, super futuristic looking, and yeah, I really like using this. So I'm going to show you a foresight that I'm making right now, and hopefully it will inspire you to think of your own really cool designs. So this is my foresight right now. Some things that you'll notice: instead of doing one big strip to connect the two rings, I actually knew that I wanted to do smaller strips. So in here you can see like all of these strips right here, the silver strips, are cardboard. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So I have 5 small strips instead of one big strip connecting it. And I just knew that I wanted to do something like that because I wanted to, do this kind of woven pattern. And I'll kind of show you how I did that right now. So the first thing that I did was make these cardboard strips that I covered in the Mylar and glued down with my glue stick. And then I just cut strips of colored paper. So, I wanted just 2 colors in here. So I'll do the last one. I'm up to a yellow. You could cut it if you want, but sometimes I like to just rip it like that. And if you look at the pattern, orange goes over, under, over, under, over, and yellow goes under, over, under, over, under. So I'm gonna start it going like that, under and over and under. Okay, and I've actually been using hot glue gun. You could probably use the glue stick, but I found with this pattern the hot glue worked well. So I glue it down there, and then put a second dab of glue there. And then just trim off that extra. So just like that. Now, when I wear it, it looks like that. So this is my decorated foresight, but yours will probably look very different than mine. Okay, so you have decorated your wearable, your foresight wearable, and you've completed the foresight circuit. So now it's time to attach your foresight circuit to your wearable. Now you can attach it however you want. What I'm gonna do is just hot glue the 2-wire clip onto one end, and then hot glue the other part, the 3 LEDs, to the other end. Some tips: I like to hot glue where there's cardboard underneath instead of just paper. It helps because it's stronger. So here we go. Just take my hot glue gun and put a little dab of hot glue there. Bring it around. And there we go. And then the same thing over here. This time I'll put some hot glue there. Now hold it until the glue dries. There we go. Look at that. You have finished your foresight. Congratulations.